Hey kids, welcome back to another episode of Oldman Plays CFL Weekly Fantasy. Apologize for the late drop today, and this will definitely be an abbreviated episode. All the internet at the old homestead here has disappeared for the day, so everything's being done on mobile, and it's not quite as easy as I'm used to. What I'll do here is rather than the normal process, I've already picked my team on the mobile here. So I'll just go through, give you my thought process and who I picked. Be a shorter one this week. Just an update for last week. I didn't do so well. I'm down to 1-3 with the league now. I was up against Travis Kerr from 2-0, and I wasn't unhappy with my team. Other than Tommy Neal not getting many targets in Winnipeg, I thought I did okay, 115.9. But this year, that's not enough to win, it seems like. And Travis had a great team, including he had Common from Toronto and Tyson Philpott, who between them had well over the 30 points that he beat me by. So got to keep going. Got to make things better. It's got to start winning here. I'm up against Safamod from Piffles this week, who's really good. So I hope I put a team together that's not bad. I'll tell you, as I said, my quarterback, well, let's work backwards from the end of the week, where it's Winnipeg at Hamilton. And Bo is tempting in this one. He really is. But they've been running a much more balanced offense. He's been getting touchdowns, but not so much in the yardage stuff. So I'm a little leery there. And I have no faith in Zach this week at all. Going back, we then have the Apple Bowl, the touchdown Kelowna, the game I get to go to. Yay! The Elk come into town to play BC, and Elk are playing well. I think they'll win this one. But Cody is not a great fantasy numbers quarterback this year. On the other side, Nathan's doing good, but I don't know how much they'll have the ball, and unless he picks up some garbage time stuff like last week, I don't know that he'll be high points. I expect the Elk to win this one. So not there. Friday night, well, it's Saskatchewan going into Ottawa, and that's got to be tempting with Harris against the Ottawa defense, who's been giving up points. But that defense also has three of the starters from last year's Saskatchewan defense. So will that make a difference? I don't know. It kind of scares me off a little bit. And Mare I just won't take no matter what. So then we're back to tonight's game, which is Toronto at Calgary. Toronto's on a short week, and they've traveled back to Toronto from Saskatchewan and now to Calgary, so that might hurt them. But on the other hand, Kelly has been playing fantastic. I don't like taking him because I don't like him as a person, but he's sure been putting up a lot of offense, so that's the way I'm going. VA might be an option there. If you want to think about it, the Toronto defense has been giving up a lot of yardage and points too, so you could probably go either way, but I'm going Kelly. At the running back position, well, I did a little bit of scouting and found that naturally, of course, the top scorers in the league have been taking Rankin every week. Scorers in all the leagues have been taking Rankin every week. So I've been holding off on him. He can be hit or miss. BC does have the one part of their defense that's not bad is their run defense. But I think it's almost a defensive pick. I figure that there's a good chance Safamod will take Rankin, and so I'll take him just not to lose anything and hope for the best. The other side, the other spot at the running back, well, I'm doing something a little different this week. I'm going with Horvath out of BC because he's cheap, but I think it was 3.2K, and he gets about a third of the carries, but more important, he's a short yardage guy. I'm hoping for a short yardage touchdown or two out of him. Receivers, well, I wanted someone to team up with Kelly, and it's been sporadic for a lot of the guys you'd think of, like Hoaxie and Polk and whatnot. But both Mattel and Common have been doing well, and Common's got, seems like more of a rapport with Kelly and gets more of the touchdowns. So I'm going that way. The other one, looking around the league, well, I do think that Saskatchewan will put some yardage up against Ottawa. So Emilus or Schaefer Baker, they both got a little bit nicked last week. They were both limited in practice this week, but I'm going with Schaefer Baker because he's been the more consistent of them. And then in the flex spot, well, I had the money for Jason Philpott. He puts up some points, so I'm going that way. How did I get the money for him? Well, I'd started out with the Elk defense against BC. I thought that might be not a bad one. But then I started thinking about it a bit more and thought, Saskatchewan in Ottawa, Mayor's usually good for a pick or two and might be the best way to go. Plus, they were $1,000 less. So that's what I went with. So just to recap for you quick here, I've got the Saskatchewan Roughriders on defense. I've got Kelly out of Toronto as my quarterback, and I've made him the captain. Running backs are Rankin from the Elk and Horvath from the Lions, so both in that Saturday game. Receivers, I've got Common out of Toronto and Schaefer Baker from Saskatchewan, and my flex is Jalen Philpott. Hopefully, that's good enough to get me a win this week, and I can start climbing back up the standings. That's about it for now. I hope you have good luck with your fantasy this week. I hope that you're doing somewhat better than I am. If you want to use my picks, as always, do so at your peril. I am 1-3, but I've also got a lot of confidence. Hope you have a good week of Pick'em if you play that, and more importantly, I hope that we all get to see some great CFL action. It's been an incredible start to the season, and I hope that just carries on with a lot of exciting and close games this weekend. Guess that's about it for now. Till next week, this is Oldman, signing off.